like a brick shit house.
So for Thor, the goal was size, bigger, 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 bigger. Chris put on 20, 25 pounds of muscle in about 6 months.
But I have to get bigger, and so it became about eating a lot, training a lot, and they kept saying, yeah, just get as big as you can, big as you can.
Selfishly, I wanted to see if I could achieve a transformation, and the subject matter fascinated me. I also felt quite comfortable within the subject matter as well, so that I thought it would be a really achievable yet challenging part and role to play. There's my vanity and my ego that says, oh, if I bulk up and put some weight on and do a film where I'm kicking people. I put on just over 2.5 stone in 5 weeks, and a lot of it was eating chicken, pushing the floor and carrying my friend Peanut up and down the stairs for hours, which is just merciless and uncomfortable. But you know, the results were fun. You know, and to see the body change and relatively quickly, actually, was good fun, you know, and required. It was a necessity as well.
We had to develop a solitary physique, the kind of physique you would develop if you only had the 4 walls and a floor. We focused mainly on that kind of thing. Dips on the beds, upside down push-ups. There's so many different kinds and variations of push-ups that we were able to cover quite a large array of muscles just by doing push-ups. It's not about working hard, it's about working smart. If you're sending the right signals, the body is going to just evolve in the direction you want it to evolve in. If you don't send the right signals, or if you don't send them often enough, the body will revert to type.
Well, for cardio and things like that, I hate treadmills. So, for the most part, a lot of my buddies and I play sports. You know, we do a lot of basketball, touch football, pickup soccer, and shit like that. As far as putting on muscle, I just go to the gym and I do real basic weight stuff. You know, picking weights up and putting them down. I'm not like, you know, there's no like P90X or some clever shit going on.
The training we worked on was just weight training, getting big, which was difficult. They sent a trainer out from London. I was doing a film in Boston prior to this. So for about 3 months we trained in Boston, and it was a couple hours a day, and it was brutal. The tricky part was eating.
You have to eat lots?
Just eating everything all the time.
That sounds awful.
Storage, fat suits, skinny suits, normal suits. And, and right now, in this shape, I don't have any suits.
That's probably why people are more interested in what I did, because they think, well, if he can do it, maybe I can do it. I think in the first X-Men, I got cast late, and I had in my head 3 or 4 weeks you can get into Wolverine shape. You actually can't. So I have been on a 2.5 year kind of regimen. Because time is your greatest friend when trying to get into shape.
Hugh Jackman, ripped. Wolverine diet is strict. It's about 4,000 calories a day, maybe 4.5 as I'm bulking up, and then it drops down, as I'm leaning up, it drops down to about 3,500 calories. Not the fun calories. This is the chicken, fish, maybe steak, always protein 6 times a day. Protein, steamed vegetables, and occasionally some brown rice or something like that. No alcohol, no sugar.
Are you training for Wolverine? Did you do 3 hours a day? 3 hours a day.
So 2 hours in the morning and about 45 minutes in the afternoon.
I actually got the diet from Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. The thing I didn't realize in the first one was 70% of how you look is your diet. So I thought it was all about weights and lifting and the gym. And yes, you have to train hard, but that's not nearly as important as the diet.
We got to get to the gym, and there ain't no stopping us. But then again, what would Hugh Jackman do?
It's 5:45. We're at the gym.
Focus!
Come on.
I I need minimum 6 months. You have to eat 6,000 calories a day. I train twice a day, so a good hour and 45 minutes in the morning, and then at lunchtime or whenever I can fit it in, another 45 to an hour later on in the day.
I'm someone who likes routine and discipline, weirdly. I kind of revel when I've got a structure.
Yeah, no, it takes a lot of work, but it's kind of fun.
Look at this weight. Look.
Yeah. Yeah, no, ridiculous.
I mean, that
Silly.
is insane. Look how skinny your legs are, too.
Yeah, right.
Look
They
again.
are.
No, I don't think you look close enough. Look how skinny your legs are. They're very, very tiny. It's amazing how you can lift that much weight.
You worked very hard physically to prepare for this role.
Yes, I did. True story. It was grueling. It was grueling. I started out like 6 or 7 months beforehand with the sword training, the fight work, and hours in the gym, which is not fun.
Did you do more, physical training for this movie than any other movie?
That is true also, Conan.
See, that's the way they should promote the film. Like, finally, a film where Brad Pitt gets in shape, everything you've seen before is a slob compared to this guy.
The body's an amazing machine. If you tell it it needs to perform in these areas and you feed the proper fuel, it needs to acclimate. It will acclimate. It will get to the point where you injure it, you rip it, and it will repair itself stronger because you're telling it needs to be able to carry this kind of weight.
Brad, along with other members of the cast, had extensive training for the role.
We went through a process as the military, or as tourists, of course, but as the military grows through, designed to break us down and build us together and develop a pecking order and a methodology for working together.
We went through a 3-month extensive training period of studying the tank, getting just to learn to be able to get up and down it like a gazelle is no easy feat. It's not made for a human being, really. It's made for its purpose to shoot things.
Ryan, Jessica, Dominic, they were all training a good 3 months before they started shooting every day, 4 hours a day, 7 days a week.
They've taken it very seriously. They're in phenomenal shape.
The trainer, before we started the film, wanted to pack on about 10 pounds on me and muscle up. You got to be able to lift people over your head and throw them around and fight blood-sucking vampires. How can you feel like $1 million when you're in shape, when you're always exhausted? Like, when you're always working out, you never feel what it's like to be, fully strong. I just always feel like, whoa, God, my chest feels like somebody, drove a truck over it. It's a tough thing when you work 14, 15-hour day and then you have to get up at 4:30 or 5 in the morning and go lift weights for 2 hours and then go to work all day. So it's been hard. It's weird, our body doesn't feel the same. I can't, nothing fits the same way. It's all a little strange, but you get into it. You love it in the long run. You're so thankful and grateful that you had the opportunity to change like that.
And he was up at 3 in the morning working out and eating. He worked really hard, though.
The physical aspects of a movie and that transformation is a huge part of the job. I think people sort of always find that amazing that an actor or anyone for that matter would put themselves through that, but it's kind of essential. I mean, you have to look the part.
I think this film is going to inspire a lot of people to go into the gym in an attempt to emulate Superman.
Super body.
Super body, exactly.
I'm sitting there in the movie going, oh wow. I go to the gym once or twice a week and yeah, I've got a long way to go.
Yeah, it took a little bit more than once or twice a week that time.
What was the regime? What was the health regime? I read something like 5,000 calories a day.
That was at one stage. That was during the mass building. Before that, we did 6 weeks of what Mark Twight and Mike Blevins from Jim Jones gave me to do was 6 weeks of foundation at first. And they said, whatever you do, don't undereat, but eat healthily. We did a lot of rowing.
Yeah,
a lot
right.
of warm-up rows, a lot of sprint rows, some long-distance stuff, but generally not. Just a lot of dedication, hard work.
What Henry did was just a ridiculous amount of hard work, literally a ridiculous amount.
It's a very long and complicated process with a lot of knowledge required to achieve the thing. That's why we have our trainers who do all that and just tell us what to do and tell us what to eat. Training was intense, even longer than last time. I trained with Mark Twight, who trained me on Man of Steel, for 4 months during the Man from U.N.C.L.E. shooting. And then after that, I was handed over to Michael Blevins, and during pre-production for 6 months, I trained with him. Almost tripled the training time overall to achieve what I achieved on this job. And it was fun, rewarding, hard work, but rewarding.
These are the kind of things that you'd have to do because it's really an amazing accomplishment that he really transformed himself into this super body. Anyone's really capable of it. I think they really just.
I work out twice a day, 6 days a week when I'm training for a shoot like today, or for True Blood or Magic Mike or any other project that I have. So it's a lot. If you want to put on empty weight, eat empty food. I always say I eat to build. So, I work out really hard in the gym, and I eat a lot of protein in order to provide me with the building blocks to maximize that training. So there's no sugar, no carbs, no alcohol. So you have to cut out a lot of that fun, delicious stuff that most people really like.
I've spent the past 25 years, the past 2/3 of my life, searching out the best trainers on the planet, the best methods on the planet. I did this completely naturally, no steroids, no human growth hormones. I was not born genetically to put on muscle. I was cursed with long limbs. But somehow I found a way to do it.
I got into powerlifting. We got into the traditional Olympic lifts. My diet is very strict, but not strict in a way that it's not fun. I'm a carnivore. So I get to eat as much meat as I can pretty much put down. I'm not somebody that's against fat. I'm against sugar. I think sugar when you're training is the #1 killer. You gotta get rid of the sugar, get rid of the bread.
I didn't have it easy, and I eliminated all of the excuses and just know that if I can do it, you can do it. Anything is possible.
When I was writing, and one of the reasons why I thought, well, this movie couldn't really be made is because of the Trevor's character, the whole weight loss issue. And never in my wildest dreams did I think an actor would actually go to the lengths that Christian has gone to.
It feels great. It feels like a kind of a victory because I did kind of just emaciate and destroy myself. To the point where I kind of just watching me run is a joke because I just have no leg muscles or anything.
Watching this man walk around 120 pounds, not eating for weeks, I just didn't think it was possible.
I didn't eat. That was it.
When I first met Christian, he was extraordinarily thin, having lost an enormous amount of weight for The Machinist, which he was about to go off and shoot.
He did call me and say, well, how do you look right now? Like, how am I gonna seriously be able to suggest to Warner Brothers that you could play Batman ever if, you're that skinny?
Hey, perfect fit.
I haven't always been fat, which is really fun and really great. I love eating food and drinking beer and having fun with my life. But I was also kind of depressed a little bit when I was fat, and I think there's probably people out there who can agree and understand what that feels like.
You must have trained like crazy for that, right?
Yeah, we trained really hard. I had a good advance. I had about 5 or 6 months, and leading into the film that I was able to, like I said, just focus on it.
Is this the shape you were in, this picture that you tweeted out, this amazing body? Is that for that movie?
Yeah. I've always been a little soft. I like to eat, but I had a deadline to play a SEAL Team 6 member, so I got 5 or 6 months, and I just really busted my ass to get in good shape. And then after I wrapped the movie, almost immediately, I gained like 60 pounds to play a role in another movie.
60 because you had to play a heavier guy.
A character that was like fat and unhappy. For Delivery Man, I was 300 pounds. That was just 1 year ago. And so you can watch this movie and you can see just how big a man can get when he truly lets himself go. So watch Delivery Man and see me as fat as you'll ever see me again. Transforming yourself is really not hard. It requires consistency and dedication. You have to be willing to sacrifice the things that you want. You have to trade things that are fun, like meals at restaurants, things like that, for long, arduous periods of time, exercising and physically exhausting and grueling work.